Bladesmiths, welcome to the Forge. Gentlemen, this is a competition I'm calling the cage match. In the first round, you are required to forge weld together the steel from the barbed wire inside of the cage with the bars from the outside of the cage in order to make a signature blade in your signature style that is between 8 and 10 inches in length. Additionally, your blade must include an integral handle and knuckle duster with 3 points of contact to the handle. Good luck. Your 3 hour starts now.
One thing these kids got to keep in mind, you're not only asking for a blade, but an integral handle and a knuckle duster that's going to wrap around. So they need about 3 times the amount of steel they would normally forge.
I need to yank all these bars off so I can get at what's in the middle.
I decided to do the canister because it's the easiest way to get this done, I think.
Barbed wire is mild steel, so you don't want that anywhere near your blade edge. So I kind of strategically placed this little tiny piece of barbed wire in a position where I can remember it so it's not going to come out on the blade edge.
I'm at a loss. I don't know what to think about this one. This is something that I've never done before.
I think that the only thing that I can do is make a canister.
This is my first time doing a canister, so I'm kind of freaking out, actually.
The first thing I do is cut off my hard carbon steel, get a few pieces of the barbed wire out of the middle, and start building my canister. I'm very concerned about the high carbon steel being put into the canister because it's hard to get enough heat to penetrate the density of it.
Daniel's going to the press. You can still see the dark shadow.
Right.
It's dull red. It's not hot enough. He's going to be redoing that.
So I spend a good 15 minutes extracting the mild steel canister. It's all fractured. Only some of my powder is melted, and my sticks of carbon are still solid within it, so I toss it away.
My steel's in the forge, and I'm just waiting to get it hot enough, and I'm a little nervous. If this part here isn't right, I don't have a knife.
Looks good, man.
Fill it inside there.
Nice. That's awesome.
Getting it off
man.
is going to be another story. Let's see if we can do it.
Joshua, he's trying to peel the can off of his billet. I think he cut off the very end of his can.
Good move.
Eventually, after many heats and some perseverance, I get the canister mostly off.
I'm struggling with getting these 3 points of contact so you can actually use a knife.
Canister number 2 is same chicken, different outfit. I take it to the hydraulic press 2 times to try to mate my metals together inside. In no way am I gonna give up.
Is Jesse making like a musical symbol or something?
You're the master bladesmith, man. You tell me what's going on.
Oh, I can't tell you what that is.
Right now, my process pretty much sucks. So we'll see if I have enough time left. I'm working my hardest right now.
I don't see any cracks or anything in my metal, so I think I'm okay at this point, and I just go to hogging off metal.
Bladesmiths, you have just 30 tiny little minutes remaining to finish your work.
I messed up my first 2 billets. Now I'm trying to pull off an emergency sand my technique.
Looks like Joshua quenched.
It's straight. It's beautiful. Fantastic. I got a little bit of time. I'm just hogging off as much material as I can. And then I see this little cold shut. It's a weak point. Your knife could very well break. If that cold shut is deep, your knife is trash. You gotta get it out no matter what. So I am leaning into this, and I'm leaning in, I'm leaning in, and it disappears. Thank you. Fantastic.
The welding gods shine upon me and decide that they're gonna let me pull a shape out of this knife. And Big Blue helped me to the motherland.
10 minutes, Bladesmiths!
Then I realized that I need 3 points on my guard, and I couldn't find a drift anywhere. So I decided to make an integral guard from a piece of rebar, which may or may not be within parameters.
What's Daniel welding? The handle?
Interesting.
Daniel's quenched.
I'm pleasantly surprised by the fact that I have a hardened edge, and I may still be in the running.
With 5 or 6 minutes left, I am feeling absolutely rushed.
Jesse, you just need a quench, man. Stop playing.
Once I see that perfect temperature, it's into the quench I go. Lost some hair in my arm, but it ended up getting nice and hard for me. I need to get over to the grinder fast and start hogging off material.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bladesmiths, drop your tools. This first round of competition is over. Woo!
So I'm not particularly proud of the aesthetic of the blade, but I am proud that I was able to get everything done and make it work.
Bladesmiths, in this first round of competition, we asked you guys to forge blades between 8 and 10 inches with integral handles and knuckle dusters. Now it's time for the judges to take a closer look at your work. Jarrett, you're up first. Please present your blade to the judges.
Well, everything looks solid. I like the way you put this together. I'd love to see you get this webbing right here to where it's comfortable. Right now, it's forcing my fingers far apart and digging really hard into that knuckle. You got a lot of options, mainly because you got so much material in that blade. But I like the idea of this shape.
All right, Joshua, you're up. Please present your blade to the judges.
All right, Josh. Your handle here looks like the most of a knuckle duster. At this stage, it is not functional. You don't have an anchor here, so even when you're chopping, it's very loose. It's all the pressure goes onto the index finger that's here. There's just nothing to hold on here to get a good firm grip. It's got a good look to it, but there's a lot of refining to make it functional.
All right, Jesse, you're up. Show the judges what you did.
All right, Jesse. Right now, if you held it this way, it's comfortable, but the index finger is going to be hitting right there when you're stabbing into it. I was watching the way you were holding it. This way. Not bad, because it takes the index finger away from this area right here. It's still uncomfortable in the webbing here, but this part is functional. The blade looks good. It's got a good aggressive look to it. It's just some refinement so that when you put your finger here, that webbing does not interfere with your fingers.
Daniel, you're up. Please present your blade to the judges.
Daniel, definition of integral.
One piece of metal made from the same extraction.
I commend you. You had 2 flawed canisters. You never stopped, you kept fighting, and you brought us a finished piece. But this isn't one piece from the same thing. This is rebar welded on.
Daniel, unfortunately, because your blade doesn't have an integral knuckle duster, it failed to meet the parameters laid out for round 1. And for that reason, I have to ask you to please leave the forge.
I'm a little disappointed because I know that in the long run, if given the chance, that I could probably win this competition.
Joshua, Jesse, congratulations. You guys have landed in the final round of this competition. Now we're sending you back to your home forges to recreate an iconic weapon from history. That weapon is a Lochaber Axe. Good luck. We'll see you in 4 days.
Good luck. We're back at my home forge in Liverpool, and I'm ready to get started on the Lochaber Axe. Finishing something that's this big that I've never done before in such a short amount of time is a huge challenge. Forging everything by hand has its advantages and disadvantages. The advantage is that you learn how to move steel pretty quickly, but the disadvantage is that it takes its toll on you physically. I'll be forged to width today, and I'll be forged to length today. I'm gonna make the best blade I can make, and hopefully it's a $10,000 axe.
I have 4 days instead of the 5 days, so that means there's no time to waste in this contest. There's 5 pieces to this entire build, so getting everything to mesh together perfectly, that's gonna be the biggest challenge. I know that when we get to the testing that I have to make sure that this thing is as sturdy and as stout as possible because they are gonna beat the ever-loving crap out of this thing. This is a war machine, so I wanna make sure that it is a lightweight blade. If a blade is too heavy, I mean, that could be the difference between, winning and losing this competition.
Today, I'm going to profile the blade and get the bevel on it. I also want to get that hook attached today too, so it's gonna be a busy day. I forged out my hook, and as I'm grinding the hook, there's a crack in my hook, right down the middle. I don't wanna start damn over again. I can't afford to lose any time today. And I need to do this again. I don't have time to do things twice. I'm running a little behind today, so I don't have time with it too much. I gotta kick it up a notch.
Day 4, got a lot of hand work that I have to do, a lot of hand sanding, polishing, gluing, so a lot of small, tedious work today. 8.5 pounds. I'm about 2.5 pounds over what I actually wanted to have it at. It's a little bit more difficult to swing and everything like that, and there's a couple of little tabs that I can cut off, the nuts and the bolts and everything like that, that's coming out for rivets. I shaved off a good pound, and it definitely feels much lighter. I hope that the weight isn't the determining factor when it comes down to the final judgment. This challenge was absolutely a wrecking ball, but I love this blade.
All right, bladesmiths, this is the kill test. Now, to find out how lethal your weapons are, I will take your Lochabars and deliver killing blows on this pig carcass. Joshua, you're up first. You ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it. I don't mind going first, other than the fact that I might pass out because of anticipation, but I'm ready to see this thing get to work.
All right, Joshua. First up, your blade, it's a pork chopper. On its thrust, do you see the wound channel? It creates such a big, deep gash. It's fun to wield, it's sharp, and most importantly, it will kill. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, Jesse, your turn. You ready?
Absolutely, let's do it. I'm really anxious about this test. It's a little bit heavy. I'm hoping that that's not going to be a determining factor. I don't know how this is going to go.
First up, your blade has the weight that every chop into something want to keep going. It wants to keep going and going and going to where pretty much took me with it. Good chops, good cuts, and more importantly, it will kill.
Thank you.
All right, up next, the strength test. Dave?
To test the strength and overall construction of your weapons, I'll be hooking the shield, pulling it into place, and then attacking it with the blade. All right, Josh, you're up first. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
So first off, you took a little bit of deformation here, pretty much where that edge caught some of the studs on that shield. But it's still sharp. It's really a nicely built piece. It's got a good look to it. It's easy to wield. Everything's still solid. Strong axe, nicely done.
Thank you.
All right, Jesse, your turn. You ready?
Absolutely.
All right, Jesse, you can see on your blade here where you've taken a pretty good roll here, and this is sort of a roll and a chip. But everywhere else on this blade is still sharp. Nicely done.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, next up, the sharpness test. And for that, I'll give you to Doug.
This is the sugarcane slice. Now, to find out how sharp your weapons are, I will take your weapons and deliver cuts across these sugarcane bundles. Josh, you're up first. Ready for this?
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it. All right, Joshua. You contoured this shaft here so that when you hold on to it, you can really tell where the edge is. I really like that. Overall, sir, your weapon is sharp. It cuts all the way through cleanly. It will cut.
Thank you.
All right, Jesse, your turn. You ready?
You betcha. It feels like I might be kind of at a setback right now just because my edge seemed like it took more damage. It can come down to the finest details.
Nice. Yeah.
All right, Jesse. The blade is heavy. It cuts, but also you can feel the weight behind it crush the rest of it. Overall, sir, for this test, it will cut.
Thank you.
Who's gonna win this challenge? I have no idea. We are neck and neck. It's really anybody's game right now. It's a toss-up.
Josh, Jesse, both of you guys brought in finale weapons that performed incredibly well in our tests. Only one of you can be the Forged in Fire champion, and that champion is... Josh, congratulations, you're the Forged in Fire champion. Jesse, unfortunately, your blade didn't make the cut.
Jesse, you brought us a fantastic weapon, and this came down to the finest of details. Your weapon took a bit more damage, and your opponent's weapon was a little bit lighter and easier to control. And for those reasons, we're letting you go.
All right.
Jesse, please surrender your weapon.
Second place is, it's not fun, but Josh brought a better blade. I gave it my best, and I put my best work out there. I came here to prove to myself that I'm not, you know, just a backyard knife maker, and I'm ecstatic that I made it this far.
All right, Josh, congratulations. You're the Forged in Fire champion, and that's a title that comes with a check for $10,000. Good job, brother.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling.
Please present your blade to the judges.
What? Are you kidding? Holy crap. I'm a Forged in Fire champion. I'm speechless.
Gentlemen, on your anvils, there is a cloth. Go ahead and remove that for me. What you have there are bars of 80 CRV2 steel, which we want you to use in the core of a sandmai blade. Sandmai is a technique that has taken down many a skilled smith in this forge. Oftentimes, they'll use mild steel in the construction, but today, we're gonna up the ante a little bit. In the competition, we're calling double trouble. Today, we want you to wrap your sandmai in this. We have bars of 1095 and 15N20 steel right here, gentlemen, that I want you to make Damascus billets out of. You will then take that Damascus, clad it on top of your 80 CRV2, constructing a sandmai Damascus blade. Gentlemen, you have 3 hours on the clock. Good luck. Your time starts now.
First thing, you gotta grab hold of that Damascus and get it shined up, because the mill scale that's on the pieces of metal itself, that's all impurities, and it will not stick with that on there. But I'm gonna use the whole stack so I can get the layer count.
I'm looking at all the steel that they gave me, and I've just decided that that is way too much. And so I'm only gonna do 14 layers. I feel that's plenty of steel. I know I need to be patient and wait for that steel to come up to temperature so that I get really good forge welds. Woohoo!
Once I get the billet welded up, I just head right for the forge. The first weld's always the most important, so I'm not gonna push this billet too far. If I go after it too much on one end, I could easily have the other end pop up on me, and I'm not about to do that.
Perfect.
The welds look good. I'm super happy with it.
I got my stacks. I'm gonna set the welds. If this doesn't go right, this is really gonna suck.
That's a good color. It looks very even throughout.
That'll do.
I definitely feel really good about my Damascus billet, that it is welded up solid, so I can go ahead and do my sand my billet now.
What's critical is the setup. When you have your two pieces, which are going to be the cladding material, you want those to be the same width.
Now that I have the Damascus, the thickness that I want, I'm gonna cut it to nice 6-inch pieces, just like the core steel. And I'm just gonna weld that back on and do the exact same thing that I just did with the 1095 and 15N20.
I got my stacks, and I've got the 80 CRV2. I'm gonna set the welds on my sand mine. It's less difficult because it's only 3 pieces instead of 24, but it's super critical. No issues whatsoever. I'm very happy about that.
The tang is at a good shape. With time running out, I know I need to get over to the forge and start doing my heat treat.
So now that the billet is all forge welded together, I'm just going to start hammering the tip in.
Yeah, Max is actually using an interesting technique. Instead of just cutting a tip in, he rounded the edges. So when you start hammering, you don't have those two peaks that want to come together and fish whip over the top. Smart move.
I want to get ready for the quench. I want to make very sure that I don't overheat the tip. The tip can overheat very easily.
Chris is in the oil.
Pull my knife out of the oil. I have no big issues. All I need to do is grind. It's way too thick.
I'm trying to forge in my tip, get that done, and then I'm gonna start on my handle. I'm looking at the clock right now. I've got to get that quench done so I have time to grind it into the perfect shape.
Brian's in the oil.
It all worked out the way I wanted it to. The hell with it. I'm going over to the grinder.
Max is in the quench.
I pull out the blade and it's dead straight. I'm super happy with it. I know I have a lot of scale on the outside of it, so I have to start taking this off.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gentlemen, put down your tools because this round is over.
All right, bladesmiths, welcome to the strength test. Now we're keeping with our double trouble theme. We got a 2-part strength test, our copper and wood chop. Copper likes to bite and grab edges. Wood likes to snap blades and wreck handles. So let's see how your edge holding and overall construction is gonna hold up. Max, you're up first. How you feeling?
I think you're about to void the warranty.
All right, Max, good job. You survived, man. Just a couple things. Right in this section right here, it wasn't super sharp. And I can run my finger across it. And you did pick up a couple rolls right here. But otherwise, everything's still straight. Everything's tight. Good job.
Thank you.
It's always fun for the second guy, Brian.
Yeah, thanks, yeah. Looking forward to it, Jay.
Nice job.
Didn't break.
It didn't break.
I'm good.
Okay, Brian, she still lives. Good job with paracord. Built up the handle a little bit more and gave me a good grip. Now, everything stayed straight and tight. Nothing came loose. Nicely done.
Thank you.
All right, Chris, you're up. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Chris, you survived. Good job.
Thank you.
Your edge is fine. You got a little bit of glinting, but not much. Handle's tight, handle's comfortable, and you stayed strong and survived. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, bladesmiths, this is a sharpness test, the double tatami mat slice. Now, unlike the strength test, this is all about how sharp your edges are and how well they cut these tatami mats. A sharp knife should be able to cut cleanly, a jagged one or a dull one, well, may rip it or worse, do nothing at all. Max, you're up first. You ready for this?
Sure.
All right, Max, let's talk about your weapon here. It cut almost all the way through. Just this area right here where you have some rolling actually kind of ripped on that tatami mat. Overall, sir, your weapon, you will cut.
Thank you.
Brian, are you ready?
You know, tear her up, you mad dog.
All right, will do. All right, Brian, your edge is razor sharp enough to cut through both mats. Overall, sir, your weapon, you will cut.
Outstanding.
Chris, your turn, sir. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Chris, on the first tatami mat, although it didn't cut all the way through, it's a longer cut with the angle I was cutting at with your blade. And the second one, cut all the way through. Overall, sir, your weapon, you'll cut.
Awesome.
Well, gentlemen, all three of you turned in fantastic blades, but in this double trouble competition, only two can move forward. And the bladesmith leaving the forge is Max. Unfortunately, the blade's not making the cut today. Doug's gonna tell you why.
Max, your blade took some dulling during the strength test, and it affected its performance during the sharpness test. For that reason, we're letting you go.
Totally understand.
Well, Max, it was awesome watching your work. You absolutely know what you're doing. You have what it takes to fight in the forge. Your time here is ended. I'm gonna have to ask you to please step off the forge floor.
Well, thank you. Good luck, guys. After testing, I knew it was me. Honestly, I was just happy to get past the first round, so the fact that I made it through the second, I couldn't be happier with that. The whole journey's been amazing, really. It's just something I don't do every day, so it was just a fun challenge.